A very good evening. Welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Ashing Sani Veera Singha. Let's have a look at the headlines first. Fitch Ratings states that the global economic recovery will strengthen from the middle of next year as coronavirus vaccines are rolled out. Energy Minister explains that the cost of an electricity unit generated by the newly opened Thamba Pavani wind power plant will be very low. News in detail. Fitch Ratings in its latest global economic outlook states that the global economic recovery will strengthen from the middle of next year as coronavirus vaccines are rolled out and social distancing starts to get relaxed. At this outset, Fitch now expects world GDP will fall by 3.7% in 2020 compared to 4.4% in the September. Chief Economist of Fitch Ratings, Brian Colton, states that the global recovery path is proving bumpier than expected as the second wave of the virus prompts new restrictions, but the vaccine news is very positive for the economic outlook over the next 2 years. Thereby, Fitch has revised up its 2021 global growth forecast to 5.3% from 5.2%, with stronger growth through second half of 2021, partly offset by weakness in the immediate months ahead. Fitch has revised up its global growth forecast for 2022 to 4% from 3.6%, reflecting the anticipation of reduced social distancing disruptions once immunization programs have broadened. Moreover, Fitch stresses that strong and faster than expected recoveries in third quarter of this year illustrated the boost to activity from reopening, even though a true V-shaped rebound remained undefinable. Thus, it also says that the role of unparalleled macro policy easing and sovereign support in cushioning the impact of the pandemic has also become clearer with given context. Minister of Energy Udaya Gammanpilla stresses that having a wind power plant such as Thamba Pavani, which reduces the cost of an electricity unit from 23 rupees to 9 rupees, is a major relief to both the environment and the public. Minister made these observations addressing a media briefing conducted by the SLPP in Colombo today morning.
අපි මේ වන විට ඊටාම අධික මිල ගණන් ගෙවමින් තමයි ඩීසල් වලින් නිෂ්පාදනය කරන විදුලි එක මිලදී ගන්න. එක පැත්තකින් ඩීසල් විදුලි බලාගාර නිසා පරිසරයට දැවැන්ත තර්ජනයක් ඇති වෙනවා. අනිත් පැත්තෙන් පාරිභෝගිකයාට එක්ක ඍජුව විදුලි බිල වැඩි කිරීමෙන් අවදානමත් වෙනවා. නැත්නම් ඉතින් භාණ්ඩාගාරයේ ඒකට මුදල් දෙනවා කියන්නේ අවසාන වශයෙන් ජනතාව තමයි බදු මුදල් හරහා ඒ පිරිවැය දරන්නේ. ඉතා වැදගත් කාරණේ තමයි තම්බපවණි සුළං විදුලි උද්‍යානයේ නැත්නම් විදුලි බලාගාරය හරහා නිෂ්පාදනය කළ විදුලි ඒකකයට පිරිවැය වෙන්නේ රුපියල් 9කට ආසන්න ගණනක්. දැනට විවිධ මිල ගණන් වලට ලංකා විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලය විදුලිය නිෂ්පාදනය කරනවා. එයින් සමස්ත විදුලි නිෂ්පාදනයේ සාමාන්‍ය මිල ගත්තොත් රුපියල් 23ක්. තොර රුපියල් 23 සාමාන්‍ය වුණු ලංකා විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයේ විදුලි නිෂ්පාදන පද්ධතියට රුපියල් 9කට අඩු මිලකට ඩොලර් 7.5ක් වැනි අඩු මිලකට විදුලිය නිෂ්පාදනය කර ගැනීමට හැකි විදුලි පද්ධතියක් එකතු වීමම පරිසරයට වගේම පාරිභෝගිකයාටත් දැවැන්ත සහනයක් ලබා දෙන දෙයක්. ඒ වගේම සීමලා ආණ්ඩුවේ තවත් මෙගාවොට් 100ක් සූර්ය බලයෙන් විදුලි නිෂ්පාදනය කිරීම අපි දැන් ආරම්භ කරන්න අමාත්‍ය මණ්ඩල අනුමැතිය ලබා දුන්නා. මේ සියල්ල එකට ගත්තම 2030 වන විට පුනර්ජනනීය විදුලි ප්‍රභවයන්ගේ විදුලි නිෂ්පාදනය 70% දක්වා ගෙන යාමට අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා තමන්ගේ සෞභාග්‍ය දැක්ම අනුව ජනතාවට දුන්න ප්‍රතිඥාව යථාර්ථයක් කරමින් තියෙනවා කියන එක තමයි මෙයින් පෙන්눔 කරන්නේ.
State Minister for Urban Development, Coast Conservation, Waste Disposal and Community Hygiene, Dr. Lanka stresses that the projects which are conducted on the public funds should provide a clear right for the people to enjoy its benefits. State Minister asserted that allocating 5% of shop areas at the Paliagoda New Manning Market for new competitive traders was such a decision.
කඩකාමර 1192ක් තිබෙනවා. ගැටලු දෙකක් තිබෙනවා. එකක් තමයි එක කඩකාමරයක් දෙගොල්ලකට දෙන ක්‍රමවේදයකට යන්න අදහස් කරනවා. අපි අදහස් කරේ මූලික මුදලක් අය නොකර මාසිකව 3000-3500 අතර මුදලකට මේක ලබා දෙන්න. නමුත් වර්තමාන රජය මූලික ගෙවීමක් අය කරන්නට යනවා ලක්ෂ 2-5 අතර මුදලක්. ඒ වගේම මාසයකට 12000-15000 අතර මුදලක් අය කරන්නට යනවා.
However, State Minister for Urban Development, Coast Conservation, Waste Disposal and Community Hygiene, Dr. Lanka addressing a media briefing yesterday, said 95% of shopping areas at the newly constructed market at Paliagoda will be given for the current Manning Market readers. He admitted that this was a project done on public funds. The opportunity should be given for other competitive traders, but the number has been limited to 5%. State Minister Dr. Godaheva also assured that the key money will be applied only for the new traders, and those who are already engaged in the business at the Manning Market are not included in that list.
So right now there's some attempt by some politicians to convey a message that some of these traders who are there in the current Manning Market are not going to get space in the new location, which is totally false. Each and every trader is going to get a space, and each and every trader is going to get a space bigger than what they currently have. And not only bigger, with better facilities. And then once we allocate space, something like 95% of the new shops will be given to the existing traders. About 5% will remain, mainly the wholesale shops, and they will be allocated to new traders who will be identified from various parts of the country, who can bring goods at a reasonable price to Colombo, who can help the market to grow and also to bring the prices down. So the basis of allocating those shops are currently being discussed, that we will convey later. But whatever we do, the basis will be for the benefit of the people alone. Because the 6.9 billion rupees we have spent on this project belongs to the general public. It is people's money. So people's money cannot be used at the whims and fancies of politicians.
Stay tuned for more news after this short break. Welcome back after the break. Education Minister Professor G.L. Pires laments that the current educational system has failed to produce a skillful and talented population that is suitable for the current job market. Education Minister made these observations at the University Grants Commission on the occasion of the presentation of a scholarship for the further education of Pasindu Hirushan Pereira, who is an undergraduate of the Management Faculty of the University of Sri Jayawardenepura, who was seriously injured in a recent ragging incident.
අපේ ආයතන තුල අපි ලබා දෙන අධ්‍යාපනය ජීවනෝපාය මාර්ග රැකිරක්ෂා අවස්ථා අතර ලොකු පරතරයක් තිබෙනවා. රක්ෂා නැතුව නෙවෙයි. ඒ ආයතනවල රක්ෂා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි රක්ෂා සඳහා සොයන පුද්ගලයන් තුල පිහිටලා තිබිය යුතු නිපුණතාවයන්, දක්ෂතාවයන් ඒවා ලැබෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා ඒ රක්ෂාවලට ඉල්ලුම් කරන පුද්ගලයන්ගේ. ඉතින් මේ දෙක අතර පරතරයක් තියෙනවා. අධ්‍යාපනයයි රැකිරක්ෂා ලබා ගැනීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය තියුණු කළ යුතු වර්ධනය කළ යුතු නිපුණතාවයන්. ඒක අපේ අධ්‍යාපන පද්ධතියේ අඩුපාඩුවක් හැටියට පැහැදිලිව පෙනෙනවා. ඒක අපි හරිගස්සන්න ඕනේ. සමාජයේ ප්‍රවණතා සැලකීමට භාජනය කරලා කාලෝචිත ප්‍රතිසංස්කරණ කරලා අධ්‍යාපනයේ යලි සකස් කිරීම ඉතාමත් වැදගත් දෙයක් වෙනවා. අද ඇත්ත වශයෙන් අධ්‍යාපනයෙන් වෙන්නේ ඒ දරුවාගේ මනසට විශාල කරුණු සම්භාරයක් ඇතුළත් කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒවා මතක තියාගෙන විභාගයක ඒවා ආපහු ලිවීම තමයි අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. ඒ දරුවාගේ උත්පාදක ශක්තිය, විශ්ලේෂණාත්මක බුද්ධිය, ජීවිතයේ ගැටලු වලට ඒ දැනුම් සම්භාරය ඍජුව සම්බන්ධ කිරීම. අන්න මේවා තමයි අධ්‍යාපනයක නියම අරමුණු. හැබැයි ඒවා ප්‍රමාණවත් පරිදි වර්තමාන අධ්‍යාපනයෙන් අපි ලබා දෙන අධ්‍යාපනයෙන් ඉෂ්ටවන්නේ නැති බව සක්සෝදක්ෂේ පැහැදිලි. අපි අවධානය යොමු කරලා තියෙනවා අපේ රජයේ ප්‍රමුඛ අරමුණක් හැටියට ඒ වැඩපිළිවෙල අපි ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා 20යි 21 ජනවාරි මාසයේ සිට.
The all-share price index of the Colombo Stock Exchange crossed the 6,500-point mark yesterday for the first time after 2.5 years amidst healthy turnover. Investment institution First Capital Holdings states that the overall positive momentum of the market was seen for the 11th consecutive day yesterday.
Yesterday, we saw the market surging up significantly with the current bullish trend that is there in the market. So with that, we saw there was a significance that the ASPI crossed the 6,500 mark yesterday. This is after 2.5 years that the market has crossed this 6,500 mark, and the overall market is moving up for the 11th consecutive day. We are seeing this trend mainly because of the strong buying interest that is emerging out of the local investors, while the foreigners are mostly onto the sell side. Most of the investors are getting into blue chip counters, which is moving up the market at a significant pace.
Minister of Education Professor G.L. Peiris told the Parliament today that the procedure of appointing the Vice-Chancellors to the state universities was changed as the previous system was not transparent enough and it was an ad hoc procedure. Education Minister made this revelation answering to a question raised by opposition leader Sajith Premadasa in the House this morning.
The problem, Honourable Leader of the Opposition, was that the earlier procedure was very ad hoc. It was an ad hoc procedure. Now, the decision is made on the basis of complete reports, which were never available in the past. The records of the different candidates for the Vice-Chancellor's post, their contribution to the university, their research record, their innovative skills, all of this is today incorporated in formal, complete reports, which are prepared by competent committees. So when the final decision is made, it is possible to make an informed decision, which was not the case earlier. I will now explain to you the new procedure and why that procedure enables the strengths, the attributes of the different candidates to be fully evaluated, and with the knowledge of all these details for the correct decision to be made. It is therefore, in my submission, Mr. Speaker, a significant improvement on the earlier system, which did not make provision for any of this information to be available to the people who are going to make the final selection. These are the matters in respect of which each candidate has to be evaluated. It's all set out here. Strategic focus. These are qualities that are very essential for the Vice-Chancellor of the university. The Vice-Chancellor is the most visible symbol of the university. The success or the failure of the university largely depends on the personality, the prestige, and the competence of the Vice-Chancellor.
We'll be back with stock updates after this short break. Welcome back after the break. The trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a mixed note today. The all-share price index gained 41.09 points to close at 6,605.09, and the S&P SL 20 dropped 0.78 points to close at 2,641.72. The turnover was 5.2 billion rupees and over 599 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. And that's all the news for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care. Good night.